नमोस्तुते। सप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी, वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ। जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ। जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भव तुमे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भव तुमे। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ। जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ। जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ। जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भव तुमे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भव तुमे। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ। जय बलदेवा जय सुदर्शन, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे। Okay, so we will get back to Jagannath glories. Before that, we will finish the remaining two Panchatattvas. All right. So, whom did we learn about in the last class? Anybody knows?
Advaita Acharya.
Yes. Who is Advaita Acharya? Yes. Who is Advaita Acharya? Who knows? Who knows who is Advaita Acharya? As the name suggests, Advaita. He's two people, right? Combined form. Who is that?
Sadashiva.
Mahavishnu and Sadashiva.
Yes. Haribol, Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. And what did he mainly do? Why did he get the name Acharya? What did he do?
He was teaching Vaishnava culture.
Yes, he was taking Bhagavatam classes, Bhagavad Gita classes, and preaching Vaishnava cult. Yes, okay. Yeah. So today we will be doing the remaining two. Who are the remaining two? Anybody?
Gadadhara and Srivasa.
Yes, Gadadhar Pandit and Srivas. So who is Gadadhar Pandit?
Radharani,
Radharani and
Krishna.
no? Radharani and Krishna combined form is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Balram.
No?
Sorry.
Anybody knows who is the Gadadhar Pandit? Nobody knows? Radharani is correct, yes. But along with Radharani, Lalita Sakhi also. So it's basically the spiritual effulgence of Radharani. She serves as, Lalita Sakhi serves as the effulgence of Radharani, and Radharani and along with the Lalita Sakhi, both of them together form Gadadhar Pandit. Okay, so as you see in the picture, like I told you the other day in other class, Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Gadadhar Pandit almost look alike. It's very difficult to differentiate when you see them together in any picture. So we usually differentiate them based on the color of their clothing. Okay, so Nityananda Prabhu wears which color clothes?
Blue.
Blue color, yes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wears which color clothes?
Yellow.
Yes, yellow. And so Gadadhar Pandit wears this pinkish magenta clothes. Okay, as you see in the picture. So this is how we usually differentiate because they three look alike. Advaita Acharya is very easy to differentiate because he is senior. He's very, very senior to others comparatively. And Srivas is based on the Jiva Tattva, right? The like us. He's also like us, a living entity, a devotee. So he is in saffron. So it's very easy to differentiate him. So this is how we differentiate. And Gadadhar Pandit is very beautiful. So each pancha tattva has their own characteristics, right? And like Radharani and Lalita Sakhi, right? So they are all very beautiful. So same way Gadadhar Pandit, when they came to this world in the form of Gadadhar Pandit, they have retained their looks, their characteristics. All right. So he's very, very beautiful, and he was a very intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Radharani is the pleasure potency of the Lord, right? So she is very intimate. Her service is very intimate to Krishna. Same way, because Gadadhar is Radharani and Lalita Sakhi, he also offered very intimate service to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when they came down. Okay, so that's a very brief introduction, and yeah, so Gadadhar Pandit is also known as Pandita Goswami because he was properly initiated through the Brahmana cult. He was born in a Brahmana family, and he's also a representative of Brahmana Guru Tattva. All right, so he was a close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's also called as Pandita Goswami, and Gadadhar Pandit Goswami is described as a handsome young boy. I already told you, right? He's very beautiful. And he was a student of Nyaya and ranked highest among the inner circle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers. So he was very intelligent, intellectual. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally gave Gadadhar Pandit Goswami a deity to worship and the responsibility to teach Srimad Bhagavatam. Anybody knows which deity he gave? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Gadadhar Pandit a deity. But which deity was it? Anybody knows? Where did they find it? Yeah, I got an answer in the chat. Yes, Krishnan Prabhuji?
Sorry, I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah, I got an answer in the chat. Krishna deity. Yes, Krishna. But what is the specialty of this particular Krishna? What was he called as? Okay, no idea. So basically, as I told, both of them were very intimate, no? Gadadhar Pandit and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they both used to go to a garden. It's called Tota. In Bengali, gardens are called Tota, okay? So So they used to go to the garden every single day and read Bhagavatam. And their favorite canto was the seventh canto, Prahlad Leela, no, Narasimha Dev's pastimes. They used to read seventh canto every day. And I mean, their favorite canto was seventh canto. They used to read Bhagavatam every single day in that particular garden where they used to go and sit. And they used to read. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's Krishna himself, right? So he used to get into the mood of the pastimes that happened between Prahlad and Narasimha Dev, and he used to cry. Both of them used to weep every day, and the entire Bhagavatam book that they had, it was almost it used to become wet every single day, completely wet, like how it rains and the book gets wet. No, same way that tears used to wet their book every single day because of the love Prahlad had towards the Lord. Looking at that love, both of them used to cry. It's very rare to have such a devotee, right? And they used to cry. And every day this used to happen. Every day this used to happen. And so one day what happened in that particular garden, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dug the ground, okay? And then he found a deity there. So he found Krishna there, and then he was Gopinath basically. So Krishna, he found that Krishna is Gopinath, and he took him up, and he gave him to Gadadhar Pandit. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Gadadhar Pandit to take care of him every day, worship him, okay? And he told, I'm entrusting the responsibility of Gopinath to you, and you have to take care of him every day. And since he was found in that garden, he was called Tota Gopinath. It's a very famous temple near Jagannath, Puri Jagannath. If you go there, please do visit Tota Gopinath. It's very near to Puri. Okay. So, yeah. So please do visit. And it's still there. Okay. He is still there. And this Gopinath, everywhere you see Krishna standing, right? He stands, he's either with flute or he stands with, with his associates. Right? Nowhere you find Krishna sitting so far. At least I have not found. So here in this particular temple, Tota Gopinath temple, Krishna is sitting on his knees. Why? Because Gadadhar Pandit became old. Okay, he was serving. He was every day serving Tota Gopinath because it was the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So he was serving, and everybody will get old. No, when we are in human form, we usually get old. So he got old, and it was difficult for him to lift his hands because Gopinath is very tall. If you go see in the temple, you can see even when he's sitting, the deity is right now sitting in the temple, but still he looks tall. Okay, so if he's standing, you can imagine how tall he'll be, right? So Gopinath was very tall, and it was difficult for Gadadhar Pandit to dress him up and put all this head decorations, the turban and all that. It was becoming difficult for him. So what he did, he prayed to Krishna badly, so badly. He cried and he prayed, asking him to sit down so that he can offer service to the Lord in a very, comfortable manner. Okay. Please go on mute. Yeah. So that's why what happened, Tota Gopinath sat down. He bent and sat down on his knees just for Gadadhar Pandit to offer seva to him, properly. So that's why right now the deity is sitting in that temple. So this is the first place I have visited where Krishna is sitting. Nowhere Krishna sits. He usually stands, right, with the crisscross legs and flute and all that. But here he is sitting on his knees for Gadadhar Pandit. So Krishna is a person. Deity speaks, right? Deity can walk. Deity can steal, Kshir Chor Gopinath we have, right? Where deity stole sweet rice for Madhavendra Puri. So Sakshi Gopal temple where deity walked, okay, to he was a witness for a case and he walked just to give witness. Okay, so deity walks, deity steals sweet rice. Here deity sat down. In Udupi, if you see, deity turned for Kanakadas, right? So deity has life. Okay, so it's based on our bhav, the ye yata mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham, Krishna said, right? How you reciprocate, how you worship him or speak to him or look at him, consider him, same way he reciprocates. Same way he reciprocates. If you look at him and say, oh, he's just idol sitting there, he will remain an idol. If you go and say, no, he's not an idol, he's Krishna himself, literally standing there, he will reciprocate in the same way. Okay, this is another instance to show that deity form of worship is the authorized form of worship, which is also sanctioned in the Vedas. All right. So next, his guru, Gadadhar Pandit's guru was Pundarika Vidyanidhi, and Pandit go and who is Pundarika Vidyanidhi? Anybody knows? Nobody knows. Okay, I think Chaitanya Lila is very new to you, right? So Pundarika Vidyanidhi is Vrishabhanu. Okay, so Radharani's father. Vrishabhanu Sute Devi, we say, right? Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Vrishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. So Vrishabhanu is in Radha's father. Krishna Lila, Radharani's father was Vrishabhanu. So he came and initiated her. He came as Pundarika Vidyanidhi in Chaitanya Lila, and he initiated her. Okay, her as in Gadadhar Pandit. And Pandita Goswami initiated Bhugarbha Goswami, and Bhugarbha Goswami gave rise to one line of Gadadhar Parivar. So it's a disciplic succession. Okay, so Gadadhar Pandit in turn initiated a disciple, Bhugarbha Goswami, and he again initiated several disciples. They are all coming from the root Gadadhara. Okay, and so, like I said, Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani, so pleasure potency. Along with Radharani, he is the Lalita Sakhi also. Okay, and he came to assist in the intimate pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And Swarup Damodar Goswami has pointed out that in the shape of Lakshmi, the pleasure potency of Krishna, she was formerly very dear to Lord as Shyamasundara Vallabha. The same Shyamasundara Vallabha is now present as Gadadhar Pandit. Formerly as Lalita Sakhi, she was also devoted to Srimati Radharani. So Lalita Sakhi is a servitor of Radharani. I told you, right? Assistants. First, Srimati Radharani is there, serving primarily, predominantly, she serves Krishna. And then who are these Sakhis? There are Ashta Sakhis. There are a lot of Sakhis, but there are prominently 8 Sakhis. Okay, and they are again serving Srimati Radharani, direct associates, as in assistants. And then these assistants, Sakhis, are again served by Manjaris. Okay, there are 18 Manjaris, prominently again Ashta Manjaris, we say. 8 Manjaris are very prominent. And out of which 6 Goswamis that we always mention, Shad Goswamis, they are all Manjaris. Okay, so these Manjaris are assistants of Sakhis. So Manjaris assist Sakhis, Sakhis assist Radharani, Radharani again serves Krishna directly, like predominantly. Others also serve Krishna, but this is the hierarchy that I'm trying to mention. Okay, and such Sakhi is Lalita Sakhi. Lalita and Vishaka are again among those 8 predominant Sakhis. Lalita and Vishaka are 2 prominent Sakhis. Okay, so if you go to Vrindavan, Shyamasundara, Radha Shyamasundar temple, if you go ISKCON temple, there is Krishna, Radha, and either sides there are Lalita and Vishaka Sakhis serving them. All right. So these are the 2 predominant Sakhis. So Vishaka Sakhi came as Ramananda Rai. Vishaka Sakhi in Krishna Lila came as Arjuna, and in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lila he came as she came as Ramananda Rai, and Lalita Sakhi came as Gadadhar Pandit. Okay, Lalita Sakhi and Radharani together form Gadadhar Pandit, and so Gadadhar Pandit also represents the perfect Brahmana spiritual master. He is the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. Yes, he is a learned scholar and simultaneously an incarnation of Srimati Radharani and Lalita Sakhi. And Gadadhar is the incarnation of devotional energy and internal potency. Okay, so Radharani is considered Aradhana, right? Radha is considered to be the short form. Actual name is considered Aradhana. Aradhana means what? Worship, devotional service. And she is the synonym of devotional service. She stands for devotional service. She signifies devotional service. All right, so that's why here it is said Gadadhar Pandit is an incarnation of devotional service, devotional energy, and the internal potency or the pleasure potency. Okay, that's why he is also called Shakti Tattva, right? Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktyakam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So Bhakta Shaktikam is the Gadadhar Pandit or the Shakti Tattva, because Radharani is the Ladini Shakti, internal potency of the Lord, okay, and confidential worshipper of Vishnu Tattva. In this incarnation, Radharani was able to spend time with her Lord in an intimate associate, as an intimate associate who helped spread the pastimes and glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I already told you, right? In Kutta, the garden, they used to spend time every day. So many intimate conversations used to happen. Okay, so that's about Gadadhar Pandit, very brief. And next we have Srivas. So who is Srivas? Whose incarnation is Srivas? Anybody knows? Yes, I received an answer in the chat. Whose incarnation is Srivas? Yes, Jiva Tattva.
Narada Muni.
Yes, Haribol, Nandita Mataji, right? So in the chat I received an answer saying Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva cannot be an incarnation. Jiva Tattva is like us, you and me. We are all Jiva Tattvas, living entities. Okay, and we cannot have an incarnation, right? So Jiva Tattvas cannot have an incarnation. So he represents Jiva Tattva. Okay, so Narada Muni has come down to our platform just to relate, so that we can relate with him. All right. So he has come down to Jiva Tattva's platform, but he is pure devotee of Krishna. Right? Narada Muni is a pure devotee. He is himself become a spiritual master for so many people. In Bhagavatam, if you read, no canto, no story, no chapter is there without Narada Muni's play in it. Right? He has a very significant role to play. So Srivas Thakur is a very close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and a member of Pancha Tattva. And Srivas Thakur is understood as Tatastha Shakti, or the marginal energy. So how many potencies does Krishna have? How many energies does he have? Anybody knows? We already went through internal potency during Gadadhar Pandit's slides. So that is one. What are the other two? Yes, Vanaja Mataji, do you know the answer?
I think it is Antara Shakti and
Sorry?
Antara Shakti and
Antaranga Shakti,
Bahira
Tatastha Shakti.
Tatastha.
Yes. Very nice. So Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. Antaranga Shakti is the internal potency we just dealt with. Radharani comes under that. And then comes Bahiranga Shakti, where Durga Devi, Mahamaya comes under that. Okay, the Durga Devi comes under that. And then Tatastha Shakti is the marginal potency, where we all come under, living entities. Because why is it called Tatastha or marginal? Is because we can choose. We are like in the margin. We can go to spiritual kingdom and serve Krishna in Vaikuntha and Goloka also. Or if we want, we can remain in this world and suffer. Okay, so we are like in the margin. Okay, we can either go there or here, both ways. That's why we are called Tatastha Shakti. And Srivas Thakur, like I already told, he represents living entity. That's why he is understood as Tatastha Shakti or marginal potency. So marginal potency is why? Because two options: you can either become a devotee and go back to Krishna, or you can remain here in the material world and undergo all the sufferings. All right, so that option is given. Option is there for us. That's why we are under Tatastha Shakti. Okay, so that is the reason we are undergoing all this classes every day, learning Srimad Bhagavatam and everything, just to make us choose, or just to choose Krishna and go back to him instead of sitting here and suffering. All right, but that again, not everybody, even after so many janmas, very less people realize that they have to surrender to Krishna. Right? Okay. Anyway, and am I audible? Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, audible.
Okay. So Devotees who are headed by Srivas Thakur are described as parts of transcendental body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they are described as parts of transcendental body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you can imagine, right? Srivas Thakur is considered as a part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's come down to spread the mission. All right, and Srivas Thakur is the incarnation of Narada Muni. He appeared in Sri Hatta and lived there long, along with his three brothers, Shripati, Srinidhi, and Sriram. And the four brothers, after some time, came to live in Mayapur at the house of Srivas Thakur, and that's called Srivas Sangam. One moment. So Srivas Angan is a very famous place again. So where closed door kirtan used to happen. So all the pancha tattvas used to gather, have long kirtans in Srivas Thakur's house. They used to close the door. In the night they used to start only like after the sunset. An entire night they used to have, like how nowadays we have in modern world, we have these night parties, right? Where parties start only after like sunset and it ends in the morning. These parties are based on the ignorant platform. Okay, they are just intoxication and all that. But here in Srivas Angan's house, these parties are transcendental. They are kirtan parties. The entire night, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Srivas, Gadadhar Pandit, they all used to do kirtan, dance, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go into that highest ecstatic bhav where he used to reveal different forms. He's Krishna, right? So he used to reveal different forms of Krishna, and they all, because they all know his Krishna himself, right? And this way they used to have ecstatic kirtan parties, long kirtans with closed door, because it's very intimate. Only devotees should know all this, right? Krishna's different forms, the ecstasy, the symptoms, all this only devotees should know. It's very confidential. That's why they used to have a closed door, and people used to think so many different negative things about this. Because they were all young, right? They were all young boys, young bachelors at that time, and they used to close the door, right? So they used to think something else is happening inside Srivas house. Okay, so all these things used to happen. It's very nice. If you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, so many such pastimes come, and it's very nice. All right, and Srivas also used to go to Advaita Acharya's house and listen to Bhagavatam and perform Nama Sankirtan and other Vaishnava activities. Okay. And Srivas Thakur is the incarnation of a pure devotee, and he is Jiva Tattva, the leader of all pure, unalloyed devotees. And all glories to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Prabhu, and all glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya headed by Srivas. So we say, in Pancha Tattva mantra, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Srivasa Adi. Adi means he is the leader. He is heading the other devotees. So all of us, we need to take inspiration and blessings from Srivas, and because he represents us, living entities, and by the mercy of Srivas, we can also become pure devotees. So he is like a leader. He is like our leader, in fact. Okay, that's why we say Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. And these two captains, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, travel everywhere chanting the holy name of the Lord with soldiers like Srivas. So Srivas was like a soldier in the Panchatattva group. Okay, and devotees headed by Srivas are his smaller limbs, and they are like his hands, face, eyes, and his disc and other weapons. So Srivas Acharya used to lead devotees, right? They are all parts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's what is given here. Okay, and Srivas, Haridas, Ramadas, Gadadhar, Murari, Mukunda, Chandrasekhara, Vakreshwara are all glorious and all learned scholars, but the sentiment of servitude to Lord Chaitanya makes them mad in ecstasy. So Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani herself. Okay, but see, what is given here is they are all learned scholars, but they were all in the servitude attitude to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All right, and that gives the spiritual ecstasy, the eternal ecstasy, the eternal happiness. And Yeah. So this we come to an end here. So this is about how to chant. Okay, by now all of you would have understood the importance of chanting, right? How important it is, how effective it is. Okay, so systematically, how do we chant? We need to chant the Panchatattva mantra. We have to, okay? Because if we don't chant, there are 10 offenses which holy name for the holy name. Okay, when we chanting, we every one of us are commit. We will commit. It's not that we can. We will commit these 10 offenses. And how do we come out of it? It's not that we are all pure devotees, right? To chant perfectly. No, we all we keep chanting, but then our mind will be somewhere else. We will be thinking about something else, right? So that is chanting in Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Sometimes we sleep. We chant and without our knowledge we sleep, right? Sometimes we chant without like what do you call, from the bottom of the heart we don't chant. And sometimes we commit so many offenses to the lotus feet, at the lotus feet of Vaishnava aparad, right? There are so many offenses like that we do. Sometimes we chant for material needs, right? I will chant today these many rounds, please give me this, right? And sometimes we start comparing Hare Krishna Mahamantra with some other mantra and say, okay, I will chant that mantra, why to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? So these offenses, it's not that we do it on purpose, but unknowingly we do it. Okay, and whether you commit an offense knowingly or unknowingly, it is an offense. To come out of this offense, we and to Panchatattva mantra is very important. This Panchatattva mantra nullifies these offenses. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, 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 merciful. Namo Mahavadanyaya, right? But Krishna is not very merciful. He looks at your offenses. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not look at your offenses. But when you chant the Panchatattva mantra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you know what he does? He filters out these offenses and sends only pure Harinam to Krishna. So that's what he does. So this mantra has that power to filter out your offenses. So that's why beginning of every round, you need to chant Panchatattva mantra. Ending of every round also, we need to chant Panchatattva mantra. Okay. So the mantra comes here, like we start here, right, on the bead, Krishna bead. So when you hold the Krishna bead in your hand, you need to chant the Panchatattva mantra and then finish your japa, and then we come back to the Krishna bead, right? And here you again chant the Panchatattva mantra and you end it. So this is how we do. It's very, very powerful. Okay. I hope all of you are following this. It's very important. Okay. So yeah, so that's about Panchatattvas. And next class, we will be doing Shad Goswamis. Okay. One by one, all the Goswamis. And now we will be learning about Jagannath a little bit, because the glories of Jagannath, it's what to say, no words, right? It's so glorious. Ratha Yatra is coming. 20th of this month is Ratha Yatra. And like I said, you can go to any ISKCON temple which worships Jagannath. They will have Ratha Yatra. So you can go there and participate. See, check out in your nearest ISKCON centers. Do go and participate. Okay, you get lot of mercy. Jagannath is very, very merciful. Okay, he's very merciful compared to Krishna. He does not even have eyelids. Like, see, this is directly from Puri. This is how deities are in Puri. If you see, he does not have eyelids only. That means what? He doesn't sleep, right? 24/7, he is ready to see his devotees. And when you go to Puri and it's like to other temples, when you go, it's like you go to see the deity. But in Puri, if you go, you know how it is considered? Jagannath wants to see you. That's why you've gone to Puri. That's how it is considered, because he does not have eyelids, right? So he wants to see you. That's why you've gone to Puri. So you should be very, very fortunate to go to Puri and take darshan of Jagannath. And he's here. Siblings are worshipped. Okay, Jagannath, the middle person that you're seeing, she's Subhadra, and here you're seeing he is Balram, Baladev. All right, the siblings, the three siblings, they are worshipped. Okay. So let's begin. Neelachala nivasaya nityaya paramatmane balabhadra subhadravyam jagannathaya te namaha. So Neelachala nivasaya. So he was initially found in Neelachala. It's a mountain near Puri. Okay. It's a Nilachala mountain. So he was found there initially in Shankha Chakra Gada Padma form. And then later on, he was carved, and Vishwakarma came and carved the deities. All right, we will get into that story. And then there were Indradimna Maharaj built a temple in Puri. That right now the temple that we have, that was built by Indradimna Maharaj, and the deities were installed there. All right. So how did Jagannath's form come to this earth? The way you're seeing, it's very peculiar, right? In other temples, Krishna is very different. He's having flute, and differently he's there, right? Standing and all that. But here it's very different, very, very different, right? Why? Why such a form? Anybody knows? Who knows? Nobody knows? Okay, so it's very new to you, is it? All right. So let me give you a bit of background to why Jagannath's form is like this. So basically, what happened? Krishna from Vrindavan, he left, right, when he was very young, like around 12 to 15 years. He left Vrindavan, right? He went to Mathura. Why? To kill Kamsa and all of them, right? And he took over. He killed Kamsa and he took over the kingdom there, and he became a king, right? And then later on, what happened? Mathura kingdom was transferred to Dwaraka. He built a nice, different kingdom in Dwaraka, and he went there, right? And they all shifted to Dwaraka. Now the story is in Dwaraka. Okay. There, what happened? Every day he gets married, right? He gets married to 16,108 princesses. Now he has 16,108 palaces built exclusively for each of his queen, right? And then how does he get married? He expands into 16,108 forms and simultaneously gets married to all those queens. All right. Now he spends time with each of those queens every single day, again by expanding into 16,108 forms. Right. So none of the queens will get the difference. Okay, my Krishna is in that queen's palace. No, there also there is Krishna. Here also there is Krishna. All right. So just to take service from all the queens. And then what happened? Not one day, every day in the night, he used to wake up and sit. Okay, Krishna used to never sleep during the night. He used to wake up and he used to, feel very sad, nostalgic. He used to miss Vrindavan. He used to cry sometimes. All right, so queens used to wake up and they used to, console him and then put him back to sleep. This used to happen every day. And one day, this used to happen so many days that all the queens got this curiosity. Why is this happening every day? So one day what happened? They all asked Rohini Mata. Okay, Rohini Mata is Balram's mother, right? So they all asked Rohini Mata, why is this happening? Right? This is a very rich kingdom. He has everything here. He has 16,108 wives to serve him. Right? There is everything in abundance over here. Still, why is he feeling some kind of, he's missing something? Why? What is the reason? All right. So Rohini Mata says, okay, wait. I will tell you, but then Krishna shouldn't hear this. All right. If he hears this, then he will definitely, again, he will get into that Vrindavan mood, ecstatic mood, and he will cry also. So he should not hear. So what they will do, what Rohini Mata says, she calls Subhadra and she says, you stand at the door and you guard. Subhadra is sister, right? Krishna's and Balram's sister. She says, you stand at the door and you guard the door so that Krishna does not come this side. If Krishna and Baladev comes, you need to immediately alert us so that I can stop talking. And then she stands, okay, she says, okay, fine, and she stands, okay. And then Rohini Mata starts saying that in Vrindavan, she describes how Krishna was loved in Vrindavan. See, in Dwaraka, Krishna is respected, worshipped, all that is there. But, as a king, as a husband, all that, he's getting nice respect, worship, everything. But that love, that innocence in the love, that is missing in Dwaraka. Okay. In Vrindavan, nobody knew Krishna was God. Nobody, Krishna did not even have these big designations, right? Krishna is king, Krishna is husband, nothing like that. So what was he? He was a small little boy, right? Cute little boy. That's how people used to recognize him in Vrindavan. Right? He used to steal butter. They used to go behind, all the senior gopis used to go behind him, and then they used to complain to Yashoda Maya. Yashoda Maya used to go behind him with a stick, tie him up. This was the kind of innocence they had in their love, and it was pure. That love was very pure, and they used to literally love him. They used to not see in Dwaraka or Mathura or anywhere, people used to have this motto, oh, he's a king, I need to respect him. So they used to do this out of obligation. But in Vrindavan, they did not have any obligation, right? They loved Krishna as he was, right? They used to complain against him, they used to play with him, gopis used to dance with him, right? They used to make all food, and when they used to go to forest with all other cowherd boys, no, cowherd boys' mothers used to make food, prepare food, give them, and then they used to say, "You don't eat everything. Give Krishna also little. First you give him, then you all eat." So that was the kind of love they had. Everything first they used to go offer it to Krishna. Not just the ladies, even the men. Okay, even the Gopas, senior Gopas, Nanda Maharaj, everybody. When they used to go out for business, agriculture business, and all that, they used to first think about Krishna. Oh, I've got nice profits. I need to buy something nice for Krishna today and go home. Right? Even cows and calves used to play with Krishna. So Krishna was the only object of their survival. Without Krishna, they had no survival only. All right. So that was the kind of love they had. So Rohini Mata explained all this. That pure love is lacking here. That's why he misses them so much. Every day he thinks of them in his sleep. And that's why he's waking up every day and sitting. This is the reason. All right. And while saying all this, Subhadra also got lost. I mean, she got engrossed in Rohini Mata's talks, and she also started thinking about Vrindavan. She did not notice that Krishna from one side and Baladev from the other side already came. Okay, so they both also started hearing Rohini Mata, and they both again went back to that Vrindavan mode, that viraha, that vipralamba bhav. They are missing Yashoda Mata, missing Vrindavan people, atmosphere, right? So they both went back to that ecstatic form. Like Subhadra, they also went back to that ecstatic form. And like you see in the picture, when we become ecstatic, what happens? Ashcharya bhav, right? Eyes become big, right? Eyes become so big that entire face you can see only the eyes, and hands and legs, go inside the body. Okay, so go inside the body, as in not literally, but they shrink. Okay, so like this happens even to us. If we go to some very extreme ecstatic stage, this happens to us, but unfortunately we don't go to that ecstatic stage, right? So these three siblings actually went into that ecstatic state, and that's why you see there is no hands and legs to the deities in Puri. All right, so the same form they had there. Okay, Subhadra was in the middle guarding the door. This side Balram came, this side Krishna came, right? And they went into that ecstatic mode. That same picture is captured in Puri. If you see, the same thing is sculpted. Okay, eyes are big, no eyelids. Okay, because eyes are big, and then the hands and legs are shrunk, so they have gone inside the body. All right, no eyelids. So this is the form you see. All right, so so this is the origin. Why Puri form is very different from other temples. This is the reason. All right. So the same form has been manifested in Puri. And also there is one more angle to it. First, initially, Krishna found. Krishna, basically Krishna only. He was found in Nilachala, like I told, Nilachala mountains. And then a king wanted to see him, all right, because he was very powerful. That Krishna in that Nilachala mountain, he was a very, very powerful form, powerful deity. Okay, so he does not give his darshan to everybody that easily. And he did not want people to come and see him because he's a very powerful form there. And a king wanted to see him, all right. So what happened? A worshipper, the pujari who used to worship that Nilachala Krishna, found the king asked that person to take him and to show him the deity. All right. So the pujari told, "Okay, I will show you, but you should not know the way to that deity, because he should be very confidential. All right. So he ties him up with a cloth and then he takes him. But then by then, when the king reaches that place, Krishna would have disappeared from that mountain Nilachala. All right. So then there is another background story for that. I don't think the time will permit now. Anyway, so then what happens? The king, regrets so much. He wanted to see him, but he is not able to see him, so he regrets a lot. And then what happens? He gets a dream. Okay, so in the dream, Krishna comes and says, there is a farm that you have to carve. Okay, and you will get all the help definitely, and you can manifest me in Puri. All right, I have disappeared from Nilachala mountains. Doesn't mean I will not come back. I will come back, but you should become the instrument to get me back, and you can install me in Puri. All right, so he doesn't know what to how to carve. He just says you need to carve me out of wood, and you can install me as deity. Okay, so now he doesn't know which wood to take, which tree to cut, which form to carve. Nothing he knows. All right, so he sits and prays, show me some way to achieve this task. There then comes Narad Muni and guides him. All right, so he says, this is the tree you need to cut, this is the wood you need to take out, this is how you need to carve. So to carve, who will come? Because he does not know the form, right? Form to carve, which form the Krishna and all these siblings will be in, right? So Vishwakarma will be invited. Vishwakarma is an architect from heaven. In Svargaloka, he is the builder. Okay, so he's an architect. He comes down to the earth, and then he takes that wood, and then he sets one condition. He says, I will carve the deities, but you should not come inside and look at, until I finish carving, you should not enter. Okay, it should be kept confidential. Once I finish carving, then you can come and see the deities. All right. So days and days they take, he will be carving, and the king will be very, very curious to see how their carving is going on and all that. So that sound will be coming, no hammer sound and all that. Suddenly that sound stops. Okay, so the king standing outside and waiting, thinks, okay, the carving is got over, so I can go inside and see. But the carving is actually half done. All right, so he thinks, okay, the carving is got over, and he will go inside. Vishwakarma immediately disappears because he has given the condition, right? Nobody should enter. Still the king enters, so Vishwakarma immediately stops the job halfway through, and he disappears. And then he comes and sees the deities. The deities will be like this, exactly the deities you're seeing in the picture. Okay, so that means Vishwakarma had to carve the hands and legs, but then he disappears, right? So hands and legs they remain uncarved. All right, and then Narada Muni comes and says, the king questions, oh no, there are no hands and legs. What do I do? Then Narada Muni comes and says, this is the form exactly I saw in Dwaraka when Rohini Mata was explaining about Vrindavan to the queens. All right, so exactly the same form. So that's why we worship Krishna, Subhadra, and Baladev in Puri. All right, and we also worship Sudarshan. All right, so here you can see, the standing. There is a small stick sort of a thing standing here, right? So this is Sudarshan. Sudarshan usually he'll be like in a chakra form, but then here he's in a stick form because he gets cursed. He gets cursed by Vishnu, and so he becomes a stick. Okay. Now, quickly we will just go through the mysteries of Puri temple. The Puri temple is not like ordinary temple, not like other temples. It's very mysterious. There are 9 mysteries that Puri temple has. We will go through one by one. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So first thing, when you see the temple, the first thing is the chakra that you can see, right? Every temple has this kind of a thing, right? Some temples have kalashas and some temple have this chakra and flag sort of a thing. So in Puri, the chakra that you're seeing, this is also called as Sudarshan chakras manifestation. All right. So this chakra, I mean, first of all, the flag, okay, the flag that every day, first of all, they change this flag every single day. So many meters, they climb high up and they change the flag every single day in Puri. And one specialty of this flag is how does flag, flap when the wind blows? It flaps in the direction of the wind, right? Any flag for that matter. But here, this particular flag flaps in the opposite direction of the wind. It's against science, right? It's completely against science. And nobody is able to find out the reason. I mean, the modern scientists are not able to find out the reason, right? So this is a mystery. And first one. And second one is the chakra. In whichever direction, I mean, chakra, this Sudarshan chakra, I don't know what architecture, wonder this is. Wherever you go and see, you can find that the chakra is facing yourself. If the chakra is like this, if people from this side see, they should see the side view of the chakra, right? But they are actually seeing the front view. From people from this side are also seeing the front view. People from back are also seeing the front view. People from front are also seeing the front view, the same one view. All right. From whichever direction you see, the chakra looks like it is facing them. So this is also manifestation of Sudarshan chakra, people say. All right. So that is the second wonder. So, and the waves in the sea, right? The sea waves. See, there is the sea in Puri, right? So what happens is this is basic science, right? During daytime, when wind blows, the wind usually blows from sea to the land, right? During the day, the wind should blow from sea to the land, and during night it should be the opposite. But here it's reverse. All right. So during the day, also, during the day the wind blows from sea to from land to sea, and during the night it blows from sea to land. So it's opposite in Puri. All right. So this is also against the modern science, right? And then one moment. So no birds fly about Jagannath Puri temple. They fly above everything else, every other building they fly above, but not above the temple. That is another mystery. It's very difficult to find out why. All right. And one more mystery is that when the sea, the sea waves, right? When you are outside the temple, you can actually hear the waves in the sea, the sound of the waves. But when you go inside the temple, you cannot hear. Right. So whatever, however big the building might be, however interior it might have, right? But you will definitely hear what is happening outside. But here, in this particular temple, the moment you enter the temple, you will not hear any sound made by the sea waves. All right. So there is a reason for this. Okay. Once Subhadra told, these waves are disturbing me. She told, Bhaiya, I mean, Krishna is her brother, right? She says, Bhaiya, these waves are actually disturbing me. Can't you stop the noise? Then Krishna orders Hanuman. He says, Hanuman, you have to stop the noise. And then Hanuman comes and stands facing the temple. He stands. And then the moment he stands facing the temple, the waves sound from the sea, cannot penetrate through him and go inside the temple and reach Subhadra. So that's why whoever enters into goes inside the temple, nobody can hear the sea waves because Hanuman is guarding. The waves are not permeated through Hanuman. All right. And the prasadam. Okay. Anybody knows how many varieties of food is offered to Jagannath every day in Puri?
56.
56.
Yes, Chappan Bhog, right? So 56. So, and how are they cooked?
56.
How
Chappan.
are they cooked? Yeah, 56. How are they cooked?
They are
Nobody.
cooked in
Ah.
pots. They are in pots,
In
one
pot.
above the other.
Yes. How many pots are there?
7.
Yes, 7 pots. Which one gets cooked first? Anybody knows?
The
Seventh
top one gets.
Top
Top
most.
one, yes. This is again against the science, right? Usually the bottom one should get cooked first, but no, top one is getting cooked first. These are all mysteries. Nobody can figure out how, right? So Krishna is proving his existence. He's literally proving his existence. And also, one grain of prasadam also will not get wasted. That is another mystery. Okay. How? No, God knows how. I mean, somehow or the other, devotees come, even if it is late at night, somehow or the other, devotees eat, take the prasadam, eat, and finish it. No prasadam goes waste. Throughout the day, nobody knows how many devotees visit the temple. Nobody sits and counts them and prepares the prasadam. Right? Yes, but still, prasadam will not get wasted. Somehow or the other, everybody will eat it and finish it off. All right. So this is another miracle. All right. So there are so many such miracles. And yeah. And also the Garuda Stamba, which is there in the temple. That is the Stamba. That is a very powerful Stamba because that is the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to take darshan. He used to not go directly towards the deity or in closer to the deity because he used to see Jagannath deity fall, get into that ecstatic mode and fall unconscious. All right. So this is the reason he used to not go towards the deity or close to the deity. He used to always stand at the side near the Garuda Stamba. And from the Garuda Stamba, he used to take darshan. So that's why even if you go today to Puri, that Garuda Stamba is considered to be very powerful. First, we go to the Garuda Stamba, touch that, take the blessings of the Stamba, and then we go and see the deity inside. All right. So these are all miracles there. And yeah, also Alarnath, right? Yeah, we need to talk about Alarnath also. Anybody knows why Alarnath temple has become very famous? Nobody knows? Okay. So basically, Snana Yatra just happened. June 4th, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, June 4th was Snana Yatra, where the deities, Jagannath, Subhadra, and Balram, are constantly given Abhishekam. All right. So constantly they undergo this bathing ceremony. I mean, it's for the entire day. They take bath, right? Continuously they take bath. And what happens? They fall sick. Okay. After taking bath for the entire day, obviously we fall sick, right? And they also fall sick. And they get cold and cough and fever. Okay. So for that particular time, from the Snana Yatra time to Ratha Yatra time, they are actually given treatment so that they get cured of fever. So in this particular time, what are they given? They are not given Chappan Bhog. Okay, they are given light diet, liquid diet, only liquid diet. So that because they have fever, they cannot eat so much and digest, right? So they are given liquid diet and so that they can recover, and they are quarantined, as in no, their darshan will be closed. No devotee can enter and see the Lord during this particular time. It's closed, okay? Darshan is closed for public. And because darshan is closed there in Puri, what do devotees do? Like actually what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did was, he went to Alarnath. The deity you're seeing, the Vishnu form, no? Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, the 400 Vishnu form. So he came here and he started praying to this deity. He said, in Puri, you are not there. I mean, I cannot go and see you in Puri, so I have come to see you here. So until Puri opens, I will be here. I will be worshipping you. All right. So because Puri is closed, people see Jagannath in this particular deity. All right. So that this is called Alarnath. This is very, very close to Puri again. And there is Gaudiya Mutt also here nearby. All right. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's Bhajan Kutir, everything is here. You can go see, his bed is there, his house is there, everything is preserved. All right. So, and then they become cured, and then they come out of quarantine and all that. And because they are not served Chappan Bhog, they go to Gundicha through Ratha Yatra. Ratha Yatra starts in Puri. They take them to Gundicha Mandir. All right. In Gundicha, who is Gundicha? Indradimna Maharaj's queen, as in wife. Okay. So they don't have son. Indradimna Maharaj does not have a son. So Gundicha wants a son. So because they don't have a son, Gundicha starts seeing the son in Krishna. All right. So she considers Krishna only to be her son. So, and then she says, you need to give me an opportunity to serve you like a mother. Right. So that's why Krishna says, okay, don't worry. I will come. I will visit you once in a year and stay there for some time. You can serve me in the way you want. That's why during Ratha Yatra, because they are not offered Jappan Bhog, Krishna wants tasty food. And mother's food always is nice, no? So that's why they go through the Ratha Yatra, they go to Gundicha Mandir, and there, Gundicha is the mother, right? So she serves him. That is the belief. She serves him with tasty food. They stay there for some time and they come back. So going one trip of Ratha Yatra, then coming back is again one more trip of Ratha Yatra. All right. So there is one more angle to this. In Kurukshetra, once Krishna had visited Kurukshetra, and all the Kurukshetra is a temple place, right? So all the gopis got to know that Krishna is there in Kurukshetra. So they all go to visit him. I mean, they go to see him, all right? And when they saw him, again, the same ecstatic form. The same ecstatic form. Hands and legs go inside, eyes become big. All right, he smiles out of that Ascharya Bhav, right, to see them after a long time, because Krishna has left Vrindavan. It's been long, right? Radharani, all the gopis see him, and then Krishna just stands in that ecstatic form, and he looks like a doll. He looks like a small doll. I mean, like a baby doll. Okay, and then they all feel like taking him, putting him in a chariot. They all do that actually. They take him, put him in a chariot, and they start pulling him towards Vrindavan. All right, this is one more angle to Ratha Yatra. So this is also a reason why Ratha Yatra is conducted, because they start with this Ratha Yatra, right? They put him in a chariot and they start pulling him towards Vrindavan. So the internal meaning of Ratha Yatra, or the purpose of Ratha Yatra, is that we are pulling Krishna towards our heart. We are pulling him. Every time we pull the Ratha, that's why I told you, visit your nearby ISKCON center and participate in Ratha Yatra. Every time you pull the rope of this Ratha, you are actually pulling Krishna towards your heart, and he gets into your heart. Once he gets inside, he will not go out. All right, this is the main purpose of Ratha Yatra. Why are we conducting Ratha Yatra every year? Is to pull Krishna and capture him inside our heart and keep him there permanently. All right. Yeah. Any questions? Any doubts? We've ended.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Yeah, one point you mentioned about the Panchatattva mantra. You said
Yeah.
that at the start of every round, we have to chant the mantra, as well as at the end
Yeah.
also. Like,
Yes.
I am doing it like after one round, I say that, but at the end, suppose I am ending at, say, how many ever rounds, at the end, I do not say. Do we need to say
You
at the end
have to
also?
say. Yes, you have to say. If
At
you're
the end of the last
doing
round.
it continuously, one round after the other, you're automatically chanting the Panchatattva mantra, right? So,
Yeah.
because you're beginning the next round, that doesn't matter. But
Yes.
at the last round, when you're ending it, after that round, you will not be chanting any other round, right? So you need to end it with Panchatattva mantra and then keep your japa bag out. All right?
Achha, achha. Okay, I was not doing that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, Mother.
No
Hare Krishna.
problem. Hare Krishna. Any other doubts? Any other questions? Anybody? No questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I have a question of why Subhadra, is there any story regarding Subhadra ji being prayed in Jagannath temple?
I just told you the story, right? She was guarding the door, and that's why she is also there in the temple. Yeah. So the same exact picture. There's a door. Subhadra is guarding the door. Rohini Mata is right. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody? Okay. No questions? Okay. If no questions, we can end. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna. Thanks for joining. Please attend next class. We will be